In the hangar, 802 Alpha, take 1.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, I thought someone would say go. Last time I...
Go.
Okay. Today we're going to be talking about skydiving against your will on today's episode of In the Hangar. Hey guys, I'm Bryan. I'm hosting this episode of In the Hangar with my friends Dan Milliken and soon-to-be Captain Christy. Before we get started, I wanna point something out. I walked into the shoot today and was abruptly greeted by Christy going, what's all this gray? How long has it been since I've seen you? And I wanted to show you, because I told you, I left my house feeling like my hair was ultra dark today. So I'll give this to you.
We'll show this to these.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's me.
So the Just for Men we've been sending you has been working.
Just for Pilots is doing a good job
Just
up
for
here.
Pilots, okay.
So anyway, I wanted to get that out of the way. So I appreciate you greeting me with, oh, you look old today. And that picture's 5 years old, by the way.
You don't think our sponsors?
No, I would love to thank your sponsors, but
Just
we
for
wanted
men?
to, just for men, just for pilots. There's a whole long list of sponsors that we'd like to thank. Some of them I'm very familiar with: Clemens Insurance, Flying Eyes, 67 Designs. They'll all be listed in the description. You guys can click on them.
You're going around the room because you're looking at the
Yeah,
signs
he's looking
on
at
the
all
wall.
the...
That's exactly what I'm doing. I have that at my house too, but
missed that one.
I said Flying Eyes,
Oh, you did? Okay.
He did.
and we want to thank Flying Eyes twice.
These are not Flying Eyes, just
This is how old I
this is
am.
for the record.
So-
Those are lying eyes.
Lying eyes.
These are my progressives that allow me to do all kinds of things.
I have progressives with my flying eyes.
This is an old man conversation. What pills
Flying
do you
eyes.
take?
I was gonna
Mine
say.
are no lines. You can't tell.
Mine are-
Although nobody knows I have progressives.
Mine have no lines, which they work great as long as you don't move your head. But if I start to look at something, everything goes wonky.
Okay.
This is what you have to look forward
This
to
is
when you get old.
titillating conversation.
Sure.
You want to
So
move it on?
I led off this by talking about skydiving against your will because I was looking at your YouTube channel yesterday for the first time in probably years, and I noticed that you guys you're about to cross the 100,000 mark, and I heard a rumor that when that happens, whether she wants to or not,
Dan's jumping out of an airplane.
with his co-host.
Oh, God.
So how are you
We have it on
feeling?
camera.
How are you feeling knowing that this is coming? Like how come it's happening?
I have been actively trying to get people to unsubscribe for the last 6 months, and it is not working, apparently.
I constantly create new accounts and subscribe just because I want to see this. So do you guys have a plan? It's close.
Okay, well, the
So
plan...
we're talking about this.
Yes.
You're talking about it. What's actually going to happen, Dan?
Well, what we're talking about, one thing that's really cool is that at AirVenture this past summer, we interviewed Mike and Chandra Patey.
Mm-hmm.
Chandra had recently gone skydiving and just loved it.
Okay.
And so she was really encouraging Christy, and she said that she would jump with Christy. So what I'm thinking is that we go to Utah for the big jump.
Really?
Yeah. And so we go somewhere in Utah because that's where the Pateys live.
I think I'm busy that day.
Yeah. That only
I'm not
works a little
available.
bit.
I work, Dan.
You do work, but...
I'm in a meeting right now, Christy. Like you can make it work for you.
So the plan is, and I think that we make it a big event.
I think
Will
she's going
she
to make
jump?
it a big event.
I was going to say it's already bigger than I want it to be.
So and I want to for the first time I want to jump solo. So I got to figure out what.
On this episode of
I don't want to do
taking
the
off.
tandem. I want
How
to
many
jump
times have you jumped?
one.
Oh, okay. And you're
Yeah.
just
Well, no, I'm going to do whatever we have to do it safely. But when we do
Dan,
the
I'm
jump,
not running the channel without you. I'm just.
I want to jump solo
I
when
think
she
we're good
does.
together, though. We have good chemistry.
Yeah, you got
So,
this.
all right.
Okay, we got
In
this.
the
So
hangar.
when Dan
So
inevitably.
you two can be tandem together.
Oh
We've
God.
never jumped before. Let's do it.
A half of a jumper and a half of a jumper clearly equals a whole, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You do 2 parachutes. I think that's how it works. So what are your real thoughts? Like, are you, how much of this is like acting it up? How much are you terrified?
Oh, I'm terrified.
Really?
I'm gonna pee all the way down.
So I'm going to go in front of her if I go. Instead of behind. But you're going to do it.
I guess I'm obligated to at this point.
You're not obligated, but I mean,
We have had comments of people saying, Dan, don't be so mean and make her do this. I'm not going to make her do it. I'm just going to, put a lot
Pressure.
of peer pressure on her to do it.
so my thought process is this. When I was a kid, it's something I always wanted to do because it looks cool. As an older gentleman, I want to have done it so I can say I did it, but I don't want to.
Oh, so you're coming with us? Bryan's coming with us. You guys heard it here on this episode.
Don't trust what an older gentleman says when-
Hangar. Bryan is committing to coming and jumping with us. That is the nicest thing that you could do.
She's doing to me what you're doing to
it.
her. I'll do it. So my take is like when I was a kid, I used to be like, man, this looks so fun. I got to do it. And then now, if I could somehow be asleep and just wake up at 13,000 feet, the flight up is going to absolutely cripple me. Like the panic.
Oh, and it's a long time too. It depends on the plane too. When I did it, it was a 182 in north of Vegas.
Okay.
So it felt like it was a 6-hour climb to altitude.
I will run out of tears just crying all the way up.
They have vomit bags on the airplane, right?
You won't need it.
Well, the door's open. You just over the side.
Yeah.
Try not to hit it on the way down, Christy.
It floats a little bit. Oh, it depends on what you ate.
But so my
I'm
thought.
not eating that day
If you eat popcorn, it'll float a little bit better than say something like
This is what
chicken.
happens when I'm on. So I think the ride up is going to be terrifying, and then I think I would have to go tandem because I don't think I could forcefully make myself step out of the plane.
Oh no, correct. Yeah, I'm gonna throw up right now just thinking about it. Like
They should have a thing you can sign. It's like, yes, you can shove me out of this plane.
I'm sure that's part of it. Like I'm gonna be like feral catting against.
They should just put a trap door in the bottom of the plane. It's like,
Surprise!
but I think once you're out and you realize, okay, if I accept it, I'm probably going to die, and you get past that part and you're falling, I imagine it's probably just a blast.
It's a blast. I loved it.
Do you come to terms with mortality on the way down, on the way up?
I think we're doing that now.
Okay, yeah.
See, the thing is, they were concerned about me because I wasn't scared at all. It was just
You have a problem. Seriously, like we've had conversations offline. You're like, oh yeah, IMC, low IFR, whatever, single engine piston, I got this. And I'm like, Dan, that's a terrible idea. Like,
It's true.
Well, where do you think I come up with superior judgment trumps superior skills?
that's
It's
what I'm
because of me.
saying, right? And do you think jumping out of an airplane for the second
was
time
fun.
ever by yourself is a good idea?
Well, no, I'll do the training. I'll do the superior judgment.
Okay, we're gonna need you to update your will and testament. The channel goes to Bryan and I, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you're jumping too.
But with an instructor who knows what they're doing, Dan,
Well, what's the worst that can happen?
I can tell you, which is why I'm asking you to update your will.
So you're going to do it.
I'm probably gonna do it. I'm not. I'm 50-50 on being absolutely terrified and only being a little bit terrified.
So I have a friend who is a 20,000 jump skydiver, and I told him I don't like that falling feeling. I hate that.
Same.
And
There's no falling
That's
feeling.
what he said. He goes, all
There's
that's
no
happening
falling.
is, he says, if you think about this, your trajectory is changing because you're already going 100 some odd miles an hour forward. So you don't have the stomach for, basically you go from doing this to doing that. And that clicked in my head, and I was like, okay. Now he said if you do it off a helicopter or a hot air balloon or something, you get that acceleration. He said you'll feel it.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. The thing is, when you go, and I will admit, I didn't have any fear until that moment that we were about to go.
Oh,
Then
so
it-
you actually did get scared? Now I'm feeling better.
for a moment.
I'm feeling a little
For a
bit
moment,
better.
there was this thing in my stomach. I was like, "What is this?" And then we jumped. So,
That's called fear,
so,
Dan.
That's your superior judgment.
Yeah.
so, but when you're jumping, first of all, you can't think about a lot of things. They had drilled in us. Arch your back, throw your hands up. I mean, so you had to do this, and so I was like, I got to make sure I do that. So my thought was so much, I got to do this, that a lot of the other just went out. I wasn't thinking about the fear or anything else, or there's just massive wind. Your cheeks are coming back. You got goggles on. I mean, it's loud because of the wind, and you get into that position and you're falling, and now you can start to think, and you're staying still in your perception because the ground is so far away. We jumped at 15,000. The ground is so far away that it doesn't move. So you're out there, but it doesn't feel like you're falling because there's no perspective on that. You just got a massive amount of wind blowing in your face. It's almost like you're in a wind tunnel. So there's no feeling of falling. And then once the chute goes out, what's amazing is how quiet it gets.
Let's back up a bit. When the chute goes out, that's got to hurt.
No.
Going from 100 and some odd miles an hour to...
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I don't remember that moment.
You blacked out from the pain?
No,
I say we don't wait. I say tomorrow we go to Skydive Texas and we just go do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I've got to have all the cameras up and everything else.
Are you going to take all these cameras with you?
Yeah.
6 speed.
Well, what we'll do is we'll get some aerials. We'll get a good speed drone up there. And
Oh, you're just gonna, if you put one on my helmet or something, it's just gonna.
they'll do that. By the way, almost
just
every
screaming.
skydiving place they GoPro up themselves. So the
So
guy
they have evidence.
The guy that will be with you on the tandem, he'll have a GoPro on his wrist and he'll turn it in.
Yeah.
and
So the
talk to
the NTSB will have
There's a
something to
ton
look
of
at.
angles of you just
Ton of
screaming and
angles, yeah.
peeing.
Yeah, all the way down.
All right. So when do you anticipate you're going to cross the 100,000?
Well, as of this taping, which I don't know when I'm going to exactly release this video. I guess I'll have to do it soon now.
If we talk about upcoming current events, she'll force you to release it sooner.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
let me work on
So I think right from where we're sitting, I think we're 2 weeks away from 100,000.
Really?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'll be very real with you. I'm about to go to captain upgrade, so I'm unavailable for,
How long does that take?
months, probably like a year.
Yeah, she's not going to get off.
No,
easy.
I'll be done with captain upgrade by the end of May.
And I'll have to call you Captain Christy after that?
Absolutely, every
Okay.
time.
When I
In
met
fact, change the name that you have for me in your phone to Captain Christy.
you, are Pilot Christy in my phone.
Perfect.
So everybody in my phone is how I classify them, followed by their name.
I'm not going to ask what mine is in his phone.
Yours is Dan Milliken spelled incorrectly. I think it's got 2 Ks in it. I didn't know how to spell your
Dan
name.
McMillan?
Something like that. I was like, I met this guy. I've got to meet him at this little YouTube
And he
thing
just
starting.
never updated it.
No.
we met here.
Your avatar on my phone is your airplane upside down, though.
Nice.
That's never going away, is it?
No.
Okay.
Not as long as I have
Well,
a
and then when I go skydiving, I'll be upside down. So then there you go.
It's true. Okay.
No, you won't be. If you are, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Okay.
Put your back and put your arms out. So you said captain upgrade. When I met you in the middle of the night on the ramp in Denton with a group of people, and you guys were new pilots and I was a new pilot, and we exchanged a conversation. And then the next time I met you, you were talking about, I'm going to learn to fly. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the airlines. And I was like, how silly is that?
Yeah.
So now, while I'm like going, hey, that seemed like that would have been a really good idea for me, I'm chasing the same thing. So you've made the decision to switch from the right seat to the left seat.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the decision was put in front of you and you took it.
Yeah, basically.
So what does that look like?
So I'm a first officer right now, and I have to go back through what's called qualified upgrade training, and that's effectively I'm already type rated on the airplane, but the roles of the captain and the first officer are different,
Okay.
and so I have to go to special training just for that. Once I get done with the training, then I go through initial operating experience as a captain, and I'll do 50 hours of that with a line check airman, and that's a line check airman teaching me.
In a sim.
No, real time on the line, like you
On
know
a real
how to,
flight.
yeah, on actual flights. Yeah,
With
well,
the check airman's in the right seat. It's
Yeah.
not a check
Correct.
airman behind you in the FO going, no, that
yeah,
button.
yeah.
Okay.
No, the line check airman's in the right seat because they're technically the PIC of the aircraft. You're not PIC
Yeah,
yet
that makes sense.
until you get signed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're qualified to fly and teach from the right seat. Kevin is actually a line check airman.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's become. I knew you were heading that. He was heading that way.
Yeah, he's been a line check airman now for a few months.
Will they let him? They probably won't let him be your line check airman.
Yes.
Will they really?
Yeah.
That's not a good idea.
Well, no. So,
You would think.
so here's the thing.
Honey, you're doing fine.
So here's the thing. Kevin
so
and I
much you
have
can
flown
do with
together
that.
a lot. We've flown together a lot as crew. We make a really, really good crew. We've never had any issues. We're 100%, professional. When we're in the flight deck,
Good.
go ahead.
He's like biting his lip.
Think they're making out up there? Is that normal?
Yeah, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Anyway, I was gonna say, considering you've got like the CVR up there and everything, like it's just honestly.
I thought you were going to go
That's
with. I thought you were going to go with the paper that prints the thing. They did the roll upside down,
Oh my gosh. Anyway, long story short, it's.
and they left the armrest up.
Anyway, no, it's 100% professional. I'm trying to be serious.
Arguing like a couple
I'm
up
trying
front
to
on the
be
CVR.
serious.
She's just nagging him the whole flight.
Did you remember to take out the trash? No, I'm just kidding. No. No, it's never ever been like that.
Yeah, of course not.
I was
course not.
actually his first FO. when he upgraded.
Okay.
So like we've been doing this for a while. So the line check airman, you're going to have 3 different trips, like lines, because you have to get to the 50 hours.
Okay.
So he'll probably do my first 2. Like that's what the goal is for him to do my first 2 where he's just teaching me. That's it. And you got to remember, Kevin, like he did my spin training. Like we've been in a CFI and student capacity before. So that's not a problem. And we've been in Captain FO and everything else.
I did a lesson with Kevin. He was not nice to me. He's fine.
Well, I can understand.
So that's a mark of a good instructor.
Let me undo what Christy's done.
Oh my God. Anyway, that 3rd trip, it'll probably be with a different line check airman who will then do my line check and my I'll get my Fed ride done and stuff like that.
All right, this is going to be a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it. Let's say you go over and you don't do well, like you screwed up and they say you failed this or whatever. Do they just go, you're back to the FO or?
No. So in the event of like that happening, they would just give me more IOE. Like the line check airman is not going to sign me off.
IOE?
In initial operating experience as a
That's
captain.
that 50 hours where she has to have somebody there.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the line check airman is not going to sign me off for my line check. Like if we get to that point and I'm not ready, they'll tell me, yeah, you need more IOE.
Okay.
So fun fact, when you're a first officer, you only need 25 hours of minimum for IOE. And this is the same thing with the skydiving, same thing when I soloed, like I wasn't ready. And I even asked my line check airman at the time, I was like, can I get some more IOE? And he was like, no, you are very ready. And I was like, are you sure? He was like, yeah. And then I did my line check the next day and it was done.
I think that's pretty common though. Every check ride I've gone to, most recently the multi, I'm like, I'm not ready. I need more lessons. And
You were fine.
And I was one of the best. I think he told me when you didn't hear it because you were crying in the corner.
I was there, I saw it.
Yeah, remember that? We didn't want to hurt Dan's feelings, but he was like, Bryan,
off camera.
They said I should be teaching them, and I was like, I get that a lot. So with respect to moving over to that seniority becomes into place, are you back now on reserve on the bottom of the totem pole?
So I'm not at the very bottom. Your seniority is determined by your hire date.
Okay.
So I was hired in March of 2020, and that's where my seniority date is. So if there are people, I have friends actually who got hired after me, they are captains now because they just flew, and they got to the minimums and then went to training. I'll actually be above them. So when I get into the captain, I'm sliding people down because there are captains below me.
Is this why I've reading on the internet and stuff, because I'm trying to get into this world eventually at some point, it almost seems like they've got a ton of FOs and not enough captains. Is it because people are holding on to their FO spot, hoping to do that so they don't drop back down?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. But, ultimately the goal is you want to be a captain.
Sure.
I held on to it for a little bit longer for the seniority reason.
How long have you been an FO?
So I got furloughed for a year because of COVID. They recalled me in July. 2.5 years.
Okay.
Like actively on the line.
And she could have moved to captain long before this.
Yeah, well, so I held out a little bit. So right now in the regionals, basically once you hit 950 hours, like the next vacancy bid that opens up, they will just automatically shift you over.
Okay.
They displace you, they call it, into the captain's seat. So the vacancy before this one, I had like 940 hours.
Okay.
And I did that by design.
Sure.
So I held on for one more cycle. And then I panic flew for the next 3 months because I knew it was coming. And I'm the kind of person where I want to.
That's what you want to hear.
On the
as a
radio,
passenger.
we're panic flying today, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I mean, like I was picking up as much as I could. Yeah, exactly. We're panic flying today at an altitude of.
And my husband's up here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you're terrible. I can't talk to you.
I feel like this is a normal conversation.
It really is, and I say this every time. But no, yeah. So I did that by design, and I did that because of the quality of life and whatnot. And the biggest reason too is that when I finally upgrade and I get through training and they put me out on the line, I'm not going to be on reserve. I'll have enough seniority because remember, I'm moving up and pushing some people down. I won't have to worry about being on reserve. I'll be a solid line holder, which is good.
Do you feel a little bit bad about the guy who's just at the top
Nope.
that you're pushing down? He's
I
like,
sure
oh, he's
do
like, I
not.
can see it. And then like, oh, Here's Christy.
I don't, because I mean, I did this on purpose. Like this is
She
the.
pushed him down on purpose.
No, I didn't push him down on purpose, but I'm just saying, like, everybody has.
I want to find out who it is. You need to have him on the show.
Yeah.
Be like-
Thanks, Christy. My life.
You were
is
about to
hell
have a
now.
great work-life balance.
Oh my gosh, that's
I'm just
terrible.
kidding. So,
But I mean, it's ultimately you want to be a captain, but and I'll be honest, like when I first got hired, it was a completely different landscape. In March of 2020, even before COVID took over and like furloughed us and everything else, there were real considerations about getting forced upgraded or displaced into the captain seat. What airplane am I going to be on? Because we had different aircraft. Which base am I going to be at? How long am I going to be on reserve? Most pilots were getting upgraded to the 145 out of Chicago.
they don't upgrade you to the same plane you're flying?
Nope. It's whatever your seniority can
However,
hold.
an Envoy now has only the one plane. They retired.
Right,
the one
exactly.
Okay.
So, and that's the difference. So, when I first got hired, it was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be, I'm going to have to do it, but it'll be terrible. I'm going to be in Chicago on the 145. I'll be on reserve. I'm going to have to get a crash pad, blah, 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 blah. But now it's completely different because I'm based in DFW. Like my seniority can hold DFW easily. The 175 is the only plane we've got, and I'm a line holder. So any other complaint that I have about upgrading is just me acting spoiled, honestly. All the three major things are covered. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, no, it really is. It's so different than what it was just a few years ago. And that's just a testament to how cyclical this industry is and how things can be great one minute, bad the next, and then like amazing the next,
Well, cool. So that's your future. You're going to be the captain. What's 2024 looking like for you?
A lot of videos.
A lot of videos.
Yeah, we'll make a lot of videos for taking off channel. Plus, that's my day job, is making a lot of videos.
So one of the things I want to ask you about, so you and I, for the first time last year, somehow ended up at Sun and Fun.
Yes.
We talked about going to Sun and Fun, and we both decided that we didn't want to go.
Well, and then all of a sudden we realized on the flight to Sun and Fun that we had that conversation once before.
Yeah, we're like, because we were
don't really
at 22,000 feet, and I remember going like, how did we get here? Because we had said, you and
We're
I
not
talked
going.
about, are we going to Sun and Fun? And on the phone,
No.
we're like, nah, we're Oshkosh people, we'll skip it. And then I still don't even know.
What happened?
Was it me?
Yeah. Well, no. So
That's
then
probably you.
at Sun and Fun last year that we were not going to go to.
Yeah. Well, I want to know before.
We traveled together, and then we absolutely decided at Sun and Fun that we were.
This was like a once every 3 or
yeah,
4 year thing.
We're not doing it.
So when do what days are you going to be there this
I'm
year?
going to be there on the night. I'm going to go the day after the eclipse.
Okay, I'll be there the whole week with Gold Seal.
You're
so
going to miss the eclipse.
I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to be at Sun and Fun. Where are you seeing the eclipse? What do you mean I'm going to miss it?
So when you look at the
I
line,
live on the Earth.
you live. Right, you live on the Earth.
No one's gonna
but
miss
the zone of totality,
Where's that going to be at?
right over
DFW.
Dallas Fort Worth.
It's going to
It
be
will not
here.
be at Sun and Fun.
I'm going. I don't know when the eclipse is. I'm going to Sun and Fun Tuesday, and I don't know what day that is either.
What day is the eclipse
Eclipse
on?
is the 8th.
I go the 9th.
Okay, so you will be around.
Someone in the comments, let me know where I'll be during the eclipse.
So you'll be in, because he's always in the
I
dark.
will be. So okay. So me and my friend Eric, when they did the half eclipse thing, happened like last year or whatever. We're like, this will be so cool. We'll get in the air. We'll get some cool shots or whatever. And we're flying around. And we're like, when is it going to happen?
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, it was. I was like, what on earth? So like, I've been through a total solar eclipse before, and it seemed very dramatic. So I'm probably going to try to be in the air again, and we'll see what comes of it. But
Now,
Are
are
you
you
night
flying the
current?
Comanche to Sun and Fun?
No, I'm in the big league now. Someone is sending me to Sun and Fun. I know. So
So instead of that time building that he could have done,
I know.
he's going to jump on an
Damn
airliner.
it, Brian. I am always looking for
when
opportunities.
someone says we'll cover your hotel and airfare, you go.
Cover.
Yeah, but your
ask them
airfare
to
and your
carry-
Comanche.
No,
You
ask
could
them
have
to cover
gotten
your ass
time
gas,
building.
Brian.
No, I know. You're right. But I want a ginger ale, and I want someone to hand it to me with a little cookie. So
Well, take Aaron with you.
yeah, here, I brought you along so you could serve me snacks. Mike, so let's rewind a little bit. How did we end up at Sun and Fun?
I don't remember. I just remember we had the conversation like, nah,
Months
we're not going
before.
to go. Months before, and it wasn't. It was like literally
Like
in the
this-
air. We go. Oh, wait a minute. We said we weren't going.
Yeah.
And here we are on
Yeah,
our
guys,
way.
we made a pact. I didn't go.
If you-
Well, you never go because you're
I'm working.
Sky jumping
Yeah, you'll be skydiving this year.
Oh my God, stop it.
And then I remember, yeah,
during the totality.
I'll actually be in Captain Upgrade during the eclipse. So I hope they let us go outside and see it.
No, you need to go up in an E175
Yeah.
and see it.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Can you log night
I'm gonna try.
for about 7
15
minutes?
minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
No, but anyway,
0.001.
I don't remember the original conversation of why we weren't going to, but we had that. I remember that.
But I now get the feeling that every year we'll be going to Sun and Fun and be like, we're not going next
We're
year.
not going next year.
It's a lot of fun though. It really is. You
Yeah.
know, you go out there we've been to Oshkosh so many times. You start to compare it to Oshkosh and go, okay, it's all right. The air shows are just the same. I mean, they're huge and they're amazing. It's a much smaller footprint and you can do it in a lot shorter period of time. But I was going back through my video and I was like, it's pretty impressive the aerial stuff that goes on. It's on par,
Yeah.
the same as Oshkosh. It's just the ground stuff isn't as big.
Yeah.
So
So Brian,
what?
what's on the agenda for your 2024?
Just plain silly, yeah.
Not getting 1,500 hours because you're skipping out on flight time, I see.
No, if I ride on the airlines, it'll give me practice for flying them. I've heard. I
That's
I wear the
not
headset
how
and
that
I've got the
works.
four-flight.
Do you put your Stratus up in the window?
No, when I fly commercial, I'm a passenger. Just because I don't want to be that guy.
Do you go up to the front?
I do pull up my phone and I go to my wife. I go, we're doing 608 over the ground. That's about as
You should go up and say hi to the pilots.
their door's always locked and they never let me in. I knock and I knock and I knock and I'm like, come on, and they won't let me.
That's how
you
he-
get
that's
into
how he got on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
New stuff. So day after tomorrow, me and my father are taking our very last flight in the Cirrus. So I know
You gonna pull the chute?
I want to. We've had it for 10 years and we've never.
Do it. Go out like Thelma and Louise.
The end of an era. Please do a montage of like some of our instrument training.
I
stuff
will put
this
something
year.
together. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so it got sold. I think my dad's either closed yesterday or today on it. So we are going to fly to Detroit. It'll be long cross country, and the owner he bought it sight unseen, but we took it to Cirrus for the pre-buy and all that stuff, and he said if they say it's good, we'll buy it. So yeah, and then 6-7 Designs. Gavin's hooking me up, lending me some temporary Cirrus specific mounts because my dad he also wants to film as much as we can. So that's the most immediate thing that's coming up.
I can't make fun of you anymore.
You can there's so many things. Don't you have a
true.
list? You
What about
literally
this?
walked up to me doing that. Going. So that's probably the next like kind of thing other than just whatever piddly stuff I come up with between now and Sunday when I release a video. But so we're gonna go get that done, and then after that. I'm doing the same thing. I'm already thinking about Sun and Fun, and I assume you're going to Oshkosh. You probably don't know yet.
She'll go to
I'll
Oshkosh.
go to Oshkosh.
Oh, you go. Okay. I don't know how much control you have over your schedule as you make this next
She can
trip.
control that one thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm busy during the
The skydiving?
thing.
I heard they were going to be doing skydiving at Oshkosh this year, so you'll be fine.
Well, the one thing that I cannot control is I can't control my training schedule.
Okay.
So if you remember, back in 2021, they recalled me for training
Oh, and it was during
the
Air
week
Adventure.
of Oshkosh.
So she did miss everything.
You should get on your skydiving training now then.
We'll get it done.
I'm busy that day.
Yeah.
I'll be washing my hair.
Well, anyway, for the few people that are still watching this video,
Sure.
we should probably start to wrap it up.
Oh, okay. I'm not good at that part. Help me out here.
Let's see, what do you have on here?
Bunch of
Okay.
chicken
Can't
scratch.
read that
Let's
writing.
see, hold on.
I put
He's
2020
got 2023
Sun and
Sun
Fun.
and Fun. What's this? My clam chowder? What
My
is
clam chowder. So I want to talk about soup. I'm not a fan.
Oh wait, does that say channel?
Yeah, I was like, in case I need it, I don't know how to do this. I was like, well, maybe I'll talk about my channel in case you talked about coming out here and just giving me one word answers. So I would
We did.
intentionally.
We talked about being a really bad interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but then Dan figured out it would be anyway. So I was like, just
Because it's Bryan.
talk about my channel. So anyway, I hope you guys got some good information about the skydiving, which is going to happen very soon.
Please unsubscribe. You can like and share, but just go ahead and
If they share it, more people are going to see it and subscribe. No,
No, wait. If we get to 100,000 and you're preaching this unsubscribe, and then we back to 99,
You gotta do it twice.
And then we do it again. That's two
wingsuit.
times.
You got a wingsuit.
like a flying squirrel.
Yes. Okay. At 101,000 subscribers, she's committed to flying squirreling at the wingsuit, like those people do over the mountains.
Like the base jumpers?
Yeah.
She heard that here.
Oh,
base
base
jumping.
Mad.
So
Oh
she's
my
going to do
god.
base jumping. What are you going to do at 102,000? This is getting good. Hang gliding at 102. Well,
Okay, but I get to keep the YouTube plaque, the 100,000.
and the hammer that I gave you,
And that is up on my freaking thing
as it
at
should
home.
be. If you're trying to explain that to people's got to be awkward. We'll put
It
a
makes
picture
a
of it
really
right
good.
here.
It makes a really good conversation piece. Like, what is that? Oh boy, I've got a story for you.
What else are you scared of? Because you guys are going to keep growing.
Dogs.
Dogs. We'll get you a dog.
Yeah.
I
She
am
was
scared
running
of.
from Chewy
I'm
today.
scared of
Chewy's-
dogs. And again, I was attacked by a dog when I was a kid, and ever since then.
What
I've
else have you
just
been
had
attacked
fear.
by?
Well, I'm scared of.
Your wit.
Okay. A root canal in the back of a caravan.
No.
103,000 subscribers.
Oh my God! Stop it.
All right, wrap
If I
this up.
have to do any more of your flight training,
That's true. All right.
Christy gets Bryan his CFI at.
That's-
I really
that's-
want to tell that story again of the first time I took you in the clouds. That was awesome.
Okay, I'll shut up. That was the day I gave up flying forever.
Just like never
was
going
like-
I
outside
did.
of
I
flight.
said
I-
I will sell the plane.
I took him in. I filed a flight plan.
We were
and
going to go out practice approaches at Bridgeport.
We did, and we went out to Graham.
That's
Remember,
right, and it-
because the Cirrus was doing silly things with the avionics.
Yeah.
So it did
Yeah.
like this weird back course thing, but we got it done. And then we were flying. I filed a flight plan back to Denton,
Mm-hmm.
and there was clouds, and like big poofy cumulus clouds that were going from like, I don't know, 2,000 up to like 5,000 feet. And I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to get them in the clouds.
Perfect. It was horrible.
No autopilot.
They
I was
were
like, you have to hand fly this. So
I started that approach at 165 knots, like I've always gone into the airport at.
well, we got into the clouds, and they're vectoring us. They're turning us on the vector, and Bryan just went, I need you to take the controls. I can't do this. And he let go.
I like how much calmer you, because when I said it, there was crying and constant, and you're like trying to get my hand away from the handle. Like, it was different. How,
And I just said, I remember I was like, okay, my flight controls, I've got the aircraft. And I was just talking you through it. See, look, I'm just looking at this. I was telling him exactly what I was doing. I was
I
staying
heard
super
nothing.
calm. We pop out of the cloud. We're on the ILS coming back in. We pop out of the clouds. And I said, okay, do you want the airplane now? And you were like, yes. You took the aircraft back. And I said, oh, all right, how are you feeling? And you were like, I'm selling both airplanes tomorrow. They're both going on Craigslist.
there's nobody should ever have to do this. It was a terrifying experience.
Now you love flying.
Oh, I love it. I like it. It's fine.
All right, seriously though,
Okay.
this is an hour and a half long interview.
We'd like to thank all you guys for sitting through all of whatever this just was. Please check out the sponsors. There'll be a list in the links. Click down there. They're all not local pilots, but they're all pilot-based companies.
by pilots.
All run by pilots. So anyway, that was a barrage, a montage of
Shenanigans.
with Dan and Christy in the hangar.
Yeah.
Did you told me to, I don't know, on my channel, I'm just like, see you, subscribe.
And then you've got like this cool outro.
Yeah, play my outro on there.
That would be really
Bryan's
funny.
outro. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, it's a good song. I stole it off of Epidemic Sound or something.